Howdy, folks. Today we're going to talk about the HZ sound. Jesus, yeah, Hertz sound, HZ sound, waist drum. This is a little tiny, itsy bitsy, little bitty IEM, which I really like that. Here's that's an Olina for size comparison. Here, let's see. Look at these guys. Friggin' tiny little guy. All metal build. I really like the fact that it's so small. I mean, anybody should be able to fit this thing. It's got a special feature, which is removable 2-pin. Holy smokeronis, for this small of an IEM, that's amazing. Cable is you know, it's kind of like a Chew cable or a Tanya. A little prettier though. I actually like the aesthetics of it a lot. So really cool, like build quality and package here. I don't actually know what came in the rest of the package, but this is definitely the smallest type of headphone I've ever seen with a removable 2-pin. All right, so overall sound quality on this, what's like the tuning? I'm gonna call it V-shaped, and I generally don't like V-shaped that much, but this one does a decent job at it. So let's just talk about it. Yeah. All right, so let's move on to this. As I am going to try and do now, let's do a graph on this guy. So let me grab my 711 coupler. Whoop. Let's see. Gotta plug all this in, hang on. Okay, and I have no idea which one's which. Let's see. Are they labeled? Can't see. Well, figure it out. All right, here's our coupler. Stick that guy in there like so. Vertically held. Then we'll pop back over here and see if I got the right headphone. Let's see, I'll turn this down. Wrong headphone. Let's see, flip to the other one. That looks good. And go. So like I said, V-shaped, probably some big bombastic bass, and a little bit of rolled treble. I don't even think I've done a graph on this yet. It's probably the first one. All right, cool. What do we got? Oh, interesting. Huh. Yeah, that's highly unexpected. Okay. That's probably good. I don't look at graphs before I do reviews, I guess. So anyway, Chew is in the orange there. I just did that, and then that's kind of hard to see. Let's see. Can I make that better? So there's our HZ sound waist drum. And just looking at this, see, we got 90 to 104. Holy shit. So, well, let's see. Did we hit? Yeah, well, no. Okay. So what we got here is I did not hit the 8K peak, at least I don't think I did. See, like this kind of thing I need to work on just a little bit, but I'm just trying to decide if this is an 8K peak or if this is supposed to be the 8K peak. Let's just do one more. I'll just shove this in a little bit harder, just to see, make sure there's no pressure buildup. So I just shoved it in more, and we'll just do one more measurement to see. Let's see where our little 8K peak happens. Yeah, I have no idea how to measure this one quite yet, but that shows you what I'm working with. Either way, look, I'll just put it like this. I had no clue that this thing peaks that high in the pinnas. And it doesn't sound like that. When I said V-shaped, go figure. I mean, don't sound like that. But there's the graph. Moving on. Jeez, wow. Blew my mind. All right, so we got the HZ Sound waist drum here on top. I'll just talk about it real quick. So exceptional factor, we'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. And the reason for that is because the volume scaling on this set is actually quite good. I like it a lot. So at lower levels, it will probably come across a little bit dull with a little bit pushed bass and mids sucked out a little bit. But as you turn up, that all falls into the pocket pretty nicely. There's no parts of the frequency range that like poke out. The mids arguably, or sorry, the bass arguably could be a little tighter and more resolving. But for $34, it's not the worst in the world, and it's got more bass than, like, for instance, the Chew, and probably better bass. So in any case, so why I like it more than not is because it is got some nice volume scaling, decent bass, and as you bring the volume up, it all falls into place pretty nicely, and I kind of appreciate that. Also, such a small headphone, it should work for a lot of different type of folks, different ears. Removable 2-pin, so we're doing good. So 7.5 out of 10, exceptional. Moving on, accuracy, we're going to give a 6 out of 10, and that's because it's, like I said, it comes across V-shaped. I don't care about the graph. It comes across V-shaped, and the mids are not the star of the show, and they're not as resolving or or as open as I want, especially as open as I want. So 6 out of 10 in accuracy. Wideness will give a 7 out of 10. It's actually pretty decent. I don't mind it at all. I would say that it could be better with a little extra treble details and more mojo, whatever. 7 out of 10. 3D, 7.5 out of 10. It's actually pretty decent. The more you turn up, the more you'll get more of the 3D stuff. Pretty nice. Let's go on to imaging. So without the extra bit of details in there, it's a very safe tuning, I would think, for most folks. But the imaging is not wonderful. It's a little blurry, so 6 out of 10. Then we move on to volume scaling, which is actually really good. The more you turn this up, the more it falls into the pocket and sounds better, more bombastic, and actually more open, so that's good. Probably a high volume set, which is interesting. That's not something I run into a lot. So bass will give a 7.5 out of 10. It needs some refinement, a little extra resonance, and just a little bit better driver probably, but not bad. 7.5 out of 10. Compared to Chew, it is better because Chew has no bass. Richness of the mids, we're going to give a 6 out of 10. Like I said, it comes across actually kind of veiled in the mids, and it's barely good enough for me to enjoy mids, but if I turn it up, I can get some of that mojo back just by sheer volume, so it's okay. Treble, we'll give a 6 also. Nothing special, slightly above average, maybe. So 6 out of 10. Resolution 6 out of 10, nothing special. Pressure buildup, there is none. 2. Isolation is a 3. You can get them in there pretty deep, and I figure they should block most of the sound, at least if you get them in there deep, because they're so small. You might be able to pull off like an Etymotic style fit with a big enough ear canal, which is interesting. Don't know what that would sound like. Binaural 3 out of 10, being maybe a little nice. And also, I would say that these do have a special feature, which is for the smallness, the replaceable 2-pin. That's kind of special. It's something anyway. So moving back over there, see, total score of 67, the sound score anyway, 67 out of and a half out of 100. Puts them around like a bunch of stuff that's not wonderful. Maybe the Audio V3, what else? TRN V90 is below it. Probably kind of a preferences set, and as in you don't really want push treble, you want a safe tuning, and you would like sort of a V-shaped sound. Works really well with metal, as those generally do, and you could turn this up to the stratosphere and blast your brains out, and it should sound pretty decent. And so is this recommended for $34? I'm going to say no, and the reason is there's not enough special things in this set for $34 to put it ahead of anything else in any major way, so skip it unless you just want a tiny thing that's like a pocketable, daily driver, or I don't know, beater probably is better, a beater pair that you can replace the cables on, and might be a good thing actually for a smaller person, maybe a kid, or maybe a small girl. Just, smaller ears, they might have trouble fitting other things. In any case, cool headphone. Thanks, Paul Wasabi, for sending me these. I enjoyed them. I Yeah, yeah. I don't think I'd mind owning them. I'd probably try and modify them or something, but I dig them. They're okay. Right on. Talk to you on the next one. Bye.